In the ever-complicated world of international politics, Russia's relationship with the United States has often been a game of high stakes and delicate diplomacy. However, recent developments have taken a more direct and confrontational turn as Vladimir Putin's government sends a stark message to former President Donald Trump through a prominent Russian oligarch, Konstantin Maleev. This message, seemingly laden with disdain and bold warnings, is delivered with such precision that it cannot be dismissed as anything other than intentional. Maleev, a Russian tycoon closely tied to Putin's inner circle, has become the unwitting messenger of a chilling response to Trump's plans to resolve the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, which has escalated since Russia's invasion in 2022. While much of the world's attention remains focused on the war in Ukraine and its devastating effects on global stability, Putin's reaction to Trump's peace efforts underscores deeper geopolitical tensions and the shifting dynamics of world order. Maleev, known for his close relationship with Putin, openly stated that any peace proposal brought by Trump's special envoy, General Keith Kellogg, would be categorically rejected. In fact, the message Maleev conveys is one of complete dismissal, a blunt, "go screw yourself" response to Trump's peace overtures. This message serves not only as a warning to the United States, but also as a strategic move by Russia to remind the world of its unwavering stance on the future of Ukraine, as well as its broader aspirations for a new world order. The contents of Maleev's remarks, made in an interview with Financial Times, provide a rare glimpse into the Kremlin's inner workings and the negotiation tactics Putin is likely to employ. For those looking to understand the current state of U.S.-Russia relations, the implications of Maleev's statements are crucial. This video will delve into the specifics of this chilling message from Putin, its implications for the geopolitical landscape, and the role that individuals like Maleev play in sending these signals to the West. The message delivered by Konstantin Maleev is more than just a personal opinion. It reflects the broader stance of the Russian government under President Vladimir Putin. Maleev, a tycoon who is subject to Western sanctions, is considered to be a trusted ally of Putin, which makes his words all the more significant. His statements provide a window into how the Kremlin views U.S. attempts at mediation in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, as well as how it plans to leverage the situation for broader geopolitical gains. Maleev's assertion that Putin will reject any peace plan proposed by Trump's special envoy, General Keith Kellogg, is both surprising and telling. In a blunt interview at a luxury resort in Dubai, Maleev stated that if Kellogg were to bring a peace proposal to Moscow, the Kremlin's response would be unequivocal. Screw yourself. This direct and unflinching message indicates that Russia has no interest in accepting the terms that Trump or his representatives might offer. For Maleev, the key to any negotiations lies not in discussing the future of Ukraine, but in discussing a new global order, a world order dominated by Russia, not by the United States or its allies. The conversation around peace talks between the U.S. and Russia has been fraught with challenges, as both sides hold fundamentally different views on the future of Ukraine and its sovereignty. Putin, however, is insistent that any peace talks must address Russia's broader security concerns and the future of Europe and the world at large. Maleev emphasized that Putin would only entertain negotiations if the United States was willing to reverse its support for Ukraine, remove President Volodymyr Zelensky from power, and engage in discussions that would alter the existing global order. In essence, Maleev's statement suggests that Russia sees its actions in Ukraine as just one piece of a larger puzzle, and that any resolution to the conflict must involve a fundamental restructuring of international relations, with Russia emerging as the dominant player. One of the more striking aspects of this message is the psychological tactics employed by Putin's regime. Maleev's comments are not just about military strategy. They are about sending a psychological message to Trump, one that is designed to invoke fear and uncertainty. By framing the conflict in terms of a potential nuclear threat, Russia is using one of the most potent psychological weapons in international diplomacy. Maleev himself warned that if the U.S. did not agree to roll back its support for Ukraine, Russia could escalate the conflict by deploying a tactical nuclear weapon. He suggested that the use of such a weapon would create a radiation zone that no one would dare enter, effectively ending the war on Russia's terms. This threat of nuclear escalation is a direct challenge to Trump's stance on military engagement and his handling of international diplomacy. Putin, it seems, is well aware of Trump's fear of nuclear confrontation and is using it as leverage to push for the concessions he demands. Maleev's comments also play into this by reminding Trump of his position as a former president who is eager to establish a legacy, while also invoking the idea that both Trump and Putin are grandfathers with a shared interest in securing their legacies. This framing adds a personal element to the diplomatic standoff, making the confrontation feel more like a battle of wills between two men, each vying for power and influence in a world increasingly divided by competing global interests. In addition to this, Maleev's remarks provide insight into Russia's broader geopolitical strategy, particularly in relation to its alliance with China and the broader BRICS nations. The BRICS group, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is seen by many as a counterbalance to Western economic and political influence. Maleev's statements suggest that Russia is committed to strengthening this alliance and would welcome any move by Trump to sanction BRICS nations, as it would only drive these countries closer to Russia and China, further eroding U.S. influence in global affairs. Russia's media outlets, including state-controlled television, have also weighed in on Trump's potential peace efforts. Russian TV pundits have mocked Trump's cabinet picks, particularly his selection of Keith Kellogg as the special envoy for Ukraine. This mockery is not just an expression of contempt for Trump's leadership, but is part of a larger psychological operation aimed at undermining his credibility and legitimacy on the world stage. Russian media has also taken the opportunity to mock Melania Trump, showing explicit images of her in a bid to humiliate the former president. This type of media manipulation is a strategic move designed to degrade Trump's image, both in the eyes of his supporters and his adversaries. The Kremlin's ability to influence international perceptions through its media outlets is a powerful tool in its arsenal. By framing Trump as a weak and ineffective leader, Russia is attempting to chip away at his political standing, both domestically and abroad. The mockery of Trump's personal life, as well as his selection of advisors, serves as a reminder that Russia is not just challenging the United States on military and diplomatic fronts, but is also engaging in psychological warfare aimed at discrediting Trump and his policies. The message from Vladimir Putin to Donald Trump, as delivered by Russian tycoon Konstantin Maleev, is a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in international diplomacy. Far from being a simple diplomatic gesture, this message serves as a declaration of Russia's unyielding position on the Ukraine conflict and its broader geopolitical ambitions. By rejecting Trump's peace overtures and demanding a reimagining of the global order, Putin is signaling that Russia will not back down in its quest for influence and control. Maleev's comments provide a chilling glimpse into the Kremlin's tactics and the psychological warfare that is playing out behind closed doors. The use of nuclear threats, the mocking of Trump's leadership, and the emphasis on legacy all reflect a broader strategy to undermine U.S. influence and position Russia as the central player in a new world order. As the world watches, it remains to be seen whether Trump will heed these warnings or continue to pursue his own vision for peace in Ukraine. For those watching the evolution of U.S.-Russia relations, Maleev's words should not be taken lightly. They represent a calculated attempt by Russia to reassert its dominance on the global stage, using both military and psychological tactics to bend the United States to its will. As the war in Ukraine continues to unfold, the stakes are higher than ever, and the future of international relations hangs in the balance. The question remains, will the U.S. fold under the pressure, or will it stand firm against Russia's demands, with the fate of Ukraine and the world at large in the balance?